God wanted us to be naked.
We shouldn't be at dinner right now. No, I'm kidding.
That was so good. That was so good.
A man's biggest fear is to talk to a woman. A woman is born with a hole, and her whole life she's looking for someone to fill up that hole. Because my father would beat me so much and treat me like shit, I started having Tourette's. I had tics. I would constantly blink. Then I started having these Tourette with my throat. I'd clear my throat all the time. I used to do that all the time. And then I would blink and twitch. And I remember kids at school used to call me Winkerbell. I used to wink and Tinkerbell, Winkerbell. And I used to start moving my mouth, my nose like this all the time. And I'd make faces, and my whole face would just, the muscles on my face would hurt. Height doesn't mean anything. Hit 5'6". Having longer limbs do not make you any better. You ever seen Putin? 5'6". No. Joseph Stalin, 5'7.5". If you don't reply to me within 2 hours, you either died or you're fired.
F students are the fantastic kids of the world. They are the ones with infinite intelligence.
And I'll go to sleep at that time, I wake up automatically. When you wake up, you're in alpha state. Your mind is half asleep, half awake. It doesn't give you any negative or positive suggestions. Whatever you read, you retain. From there, I'll go in the ice. 3 people that go to hell no matter what. A judge. Why does a judge go to hell? Because he judges you. Who is he to judge me? There's a God up there. He's the only one who can judge me. A lawyer. Why does a lawyer go to hell? Because he constantly has to lie. And a doctor. Why does a doctor go to hell? Because he decides if you live or die.
Ashley Hall's been known for his morning routines. What do you think about him?
Super nice gay guy.
Well guys, it looks like we are back once again for a second time with a video that was just very painful to make. And I figured that since King Azoulay hasn't been up to too much and hasn't been giving us a whole lot besides posting videos trying to respond to Ali, aka his alpha male rival, where the responses themselves have just been really stupid, and he's posted things like this, where he thought it looked hard as hell to just go ahead and break pieces of fucking drywall.
Ali, you're a nice guy, but nice guys can't do shit like this. This one is for you. Like I said, first round, knockout. I worked as a construction worker for a pretty long time. What I would do with the extra material is break the fuck out of it. We got here drywall, we got 5 pieces, ain't that hard. Break them pretty easily. What happens when you put more? It's 10 pieces. Now 10 pieces, I can tell you, if you could break 10 pieces, most likely you could crush somebody's skull. See that? This is for you, Ali. Most people break this with their elbow. Break it with our fist. Like I said, Ali, you're a nice guy, but I'll never let you speak to me this way. Fuck you!
And lately, when he hasn't been responding to Ali, he's also just been trying to post these different little goofy-ass motivational videos that are just reposts from like a year or 2 ago. And it's just dumb shit like this right here.
Your girlfriend left you? Yes! Great. A better one is coming. You lost $1 million? Yes! Guess what? There's enough space in the bank for you to earn $1 billion fucking dollars. You crashed your car? Yes! Wish that motherfucker would have blown up. Because anyways, I'm buying a new one.
You're 18 when she's 15?
Yes! Great. A better one is coming. Anything bad that happens to you, just say yes! And I guarantee you're gonna feel fucking good about it.
It seemed like the perfect time to come back for a second time and do a part 2 for King Azoulay's most ridiculous quotes and stories, where I once again dove even deeper into the King Azoulay lore and dug up even more clips and goofy moments that I didn't include in the first one. So if you haven't watched part 1, go check it out first, because this video will pick up from where that one left off, because if you don't, you'll just be missing a lot of funny context and different clips. But with that said, we're gonna pick up right where we left off, with King Azoulay as an adult trying to flex a variety of different things. So many stupid things, in fact, that just like the last video, I'm going to have to divide all of them into different categories. So we're just gonna jump straight on into it with our first category, which would be King Azoulay's quotes about how many bitches he is just constantly able to get and how much of a ladies' man he truly is. Because the wannabe king here has just made some astoundingly goofy comments, where he has stated that he could get hundreds of women if he wanted, and he could have his very own army of women, but then stated that an army of sheep would be useless.
I could easily be right now with 100 women. I have the money, I have the looks, I have the brain. I'm strong enough to also manipulate them to all work together as a team.
Teach me more about that.
The truth is, it's too much work for me because there's greater things in life than for me to sit here and run 100 women like they're a bunch of my soldiers, you know? I don't need an army of women. It's like having an army of sheep. You don't want that. What you want is to have one strong woman that's going to be able to help you achieve your goals. Before I was known, girls wanted me. Now, all the girls want me. Whatever girl will come across my platform, she wants to date me. She sees, okay, this is a good guy. He's the perfect guy. This is the kind of guy you probably want to bring home to your parents. Also, he's successful. Also, he's now famous. Then I went and looked at statistics. Statistics show that if you have a ton of money, women want you. But if you don't have a ton of money, but you have fame, women want you over 100 times more.
Okay, yeah, I can see that actually.
That's crazy statistics, but it shows you how much fame does. Yeah. So now, knowing how much fame actually creates this crazy illusion for people, right? Oh my God, this is a special person. You are no longer the guy from Real Estate Faster who sold over $2.5 billion in sales. As soon as they see you over the screen, they're like, oh my God, I know that guy. Now you're famous. So it's a different reaction. So I've realized that women want you 10, 20 times more just by being famous. They don't even know if you have money or not.
And making the statement that he's strong enough to manipulate them is really a crazy ass thing to say with the track record that this goober has. And he'll say all of this before throwing out some random ass statistics without any type of evidence. And the man just likes to say numbers, so it's all already goofy enough. But he will then often follow this up with these different goofy ass stories a lot of the time to just really push home how many women he is actually able to get. And while you're watching this, just keep in mind that this is like a 40-something-year-old man who is indeed married.
I come out, she starts tickling my stomach, and she's like, oh my God, you're like the second guy I've ever seen. How crazy was it? Right now, I went through the security over at the airport. The lady, when I passed the security, she's telling everybody, take off your shoes. Me, she tells me you're good. They check me, I come out, she starts tickling my stomach, and she's like, oh my God, you're like this guy I've ever seen. Get out of here before you get me in trouble, you know? And he was shocked. He was standing there like, what the fuck? I've never seen that before. But that's what happens when you walk with confidence, when you're strong, when you have good energy, when you're authentic, and people see that you're real. Where do you see too many people that are real that speak the way that they speak? Yeah.
How do I read a woman's personality when I start dating her?
That's very simple. All you have to do is ask her if she's ever been to a Halloween party. You see, in Halloween, people pretend to dress up, but they truly dress up as who they truly are. For example, me, every single Halloween party that I ever dressed up, I dressed up as a superhero. I was either Batman, Superman, Hercules. All you have to do is ask her excitingly if she's ever been to a Halloween party. And if she tells you she has, you ask her, what did she dress up as? And when she tells you all excited that she was a slutty devil, you already know that's an evil bitch.
Damn, I would never thought about it this way.
Yeah.
And yeah, first off, there is no way in hell that that first story even remotely happened. This man did not walk through security and then get tickled by the security guard before dropping the line that he was going to get her in trouble. Like, nobody is buying this shit, Hunk. But then on top of that, he then goes on to say that during Halloween, you dress as what you really are, and had the audacity to state that he would dress as Batman, Superman, or Hercules. So this guy unironically thinks and tried to state that he's basically a superhero, and apparently the motherfucker thinks he's Batman, under his own logic. And of course, the logic just doesn't make much sense, because dressing up is playing pretend. So if someone dresses up like an MMA fighter or a boxer, that doesn't make them an MMA fighter or a boxer. Just like how when you would dress up as Batman, Ben, it didn't mean that you were truly a superhero. Now, if she's dressing up as a slutty devil, that might be a red flag, but the logic just doesn't make sense at all. And I think the man was just looking for a way to talk about how he really is a superhero deep down. And all of this lady talk, of course, leads to even goofier moments. Like this one right here, where Ben gets to talk about his favorite subject, which is of course dick size.
The tall guys have small penises. penises. The short guys have long penises. What do you prefer? Height on the bottom or at the top?
If I had to pick, top.
The top?
Yeah.
Really?
You prefer bottom?
Not me, but the girls do.
But the top gets you more respect by guys and shit, you know?
Today, here you have the surgeries here in Vegas. Limb lengthening. The limb lengthening, they break your
Oh, yeah, I've
legs.
seen that.
There was this guy, he like gained 8 inches and a bunch of bitches
I
because
bet.
of that.
Yeah, I bet.
Like crazy amounts of girls all of a sudden. He was 5'6", and became 6'2".
Yeah, once you're past 6, you're good.
Yeah.
You're chilling.
Listen, I'm about 6 feet tall. You bring me anybody, you could be 8 feet tall. I guarantee you, I walk in a club and nobody knows who I am, and he walks into the club, I get 50 more numbers than he.
Really?
Even the one that he got her number, I'll make sure she goes back to him to take his number. Take her number back.
Because it's just confidence, right?
It's confidence. It's the way that I look.
And yeah, now it makes a lot more sense why he is just so into Ali Soba's 5'4" ass, because as you just heard him say, he prefers them short and longer on the bottom. And of course, he had to go ahead and ensure to make it clear that even if somebody is taller than him, he is about to be pulling way more ladies in the club, and is even gonna go to their lady and end up taking her. And it's all because of how he walks and the way he looks. And I find all of this really ironic, because he will go from saying some dumb shit like this to then trying to promote semen retention, and doing so in one of the goofiest ways that I think he possibly could have, which is by saying that you will die faster if you bust a nut too often.
Why most men die much younger than women and also out of heart attack? Well, they just did a study and come to find out that every time that the man ejaculates, there's so much pressure that is coming up and his heart is pumping extremely hard to release. Now, you guys will think about it and say, well, this one doesn't sound right to us. But if there's studies show, and we know in every Bible that semen retention is the best thing for you, and it holds your power and actually makes you stronger and gives you love. Now we know that it prevents you from having future sicknesses. So if you want to live longer, do me, you, and all of us a favor. Semen retention is the way to go. I'll see you in 50 years.
And of course, I had no idea what study he was even talking about, because again, he didn't provide it, and when I look it up, it is considered a low-risk activity and doesn't put much strain at all for anyone who is already healthy and doesn't have a pre-existing heart condition. So I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about at this point, and I think it's the perfect place to end that segment, because he is clearly not practicing what he's preaching anyway. And this is where we'll move on to our next segment, which is of course the fact that King Azoulay is just always trying to pretend to be this big, bad, tough badass. And apparently he was just a badass at pretty much every age, but especially the age of 13, which if you watched my last video, you will know is just the golden age he goes to when he's making up bullshit.
That point on, my dad knew he couldn't take on me. That was 13. He picked up a wooden stick and he went to hit me over the head, and I did this and it broke. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. When I was 13 years old, I got jumped by like 30 guys. They beat shit out of me. One hit me with a baton over the face. And that was the time that I stopped hanging out with people. I fought 10 guys at the same time and beat their ass. And I fought 40 guys and I got jumped by them. And I was 13 years old. It did not matter how many people it was.
And it will lead to clips like this, to where he tries to state that the reason people wear gloves when boxing is to keep from breaking their hand, which might be slightly part of the reason, but the real reason is to avoid damage to the head and face, because if you watch bare knuckle boxing you would know what I'm talking about. But he goes from saying that, into talking about the Shaolin monks, into talking about some made up bullshit story from his childhood.
Do you know why people wear boxing gloves? So they don't f up their hands by hitting somebody's head. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker. That's what I learned from the Shaolin monk. Go watch them when they spar, when they battle. Boom, they turn their head. Wherever you're hitting, they just turn their head. You punch their head, you're breaking your hand. That's the beauty that we are actually superhumans. We just don't unlock these genes because we don't put our body and our mind through the pressure. Suffocating, hurting. When we hurt, we thrive. And I learned that at a young age. And from there, I said, you know what? No matter what, I'm gonna do this. When I was 13, that was the first time I started working for my dad. He threw me up in the attic, said, go change all the insulation. I was sick for 2 weeks. He didn't give me a suit. He didn't give me a mask. I was up there doing it all by myself. Came out, I was itching for 4 days. I was sick, I had pneumonia. I went to the hospital. They said I almost died. I had fiberglass in my lungs. Did he try to kill me? Or did he just didn't know, you know? Who knows? But the shit I went through really shaped me up.
And at this point, when I hear the words, "when I was 13, come out of his mouth, I already know that it's just gonna be some complete horse shit, and is gonna be something in order to try to make him look like a complete badass when he was just beginning to become a teenager. It's not good enough that he tries to look like a badass now, but he also needs to ensure that he was always just this badass. But speaking of that, the wannabe king also just has a variety of clips where he is basically talking about how he is just out here knocking people out like it was nothing, and how when he's in rooms with people, they are just terrified of him and they fear him because he is just that big, that intimidating, and is just a straight killer.
Until the age of 21, I thought that revenge was beating the shit out of people. You could ask around, I knocked the fuck out of so many people everywhere I fucking went because I thought that was the only way for revenge. You walk into a place, see a group of guys, go up to one of the guys, smack him in the head. The other boys go, hey bro, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Relax, we'll call the police. What do you mean relax? Everybody gets beat up, everybody gets knocked the fuck out, everybody's going to sleep. Once everybody's asleep, then I ask what happened. It's my brother. Someone with him? It's my boy. Someone with him? There's no way. I'm not gonna stop. I trained martial arts my whole life. I know how to fight very, very well. I've taken on not one, not two guys. I fought 30 guys at the same time and they couldn't take me out.
You fought 30 guys?
30 guys at the same time. They got to the point that they said, okay, you mother, we're done with you. You don't want to stop. I have this switch. You better kill me. It's almost like I took PCP. People look at me as soon as I walk in and they're like, who is this guy? I look like I'm going to hurt somebody. I don't look like I walk into a place and I'm just coming to have a good time. When I walk in, it's like I'm literally going to hurt somebody. So when I walk into a place, people are like, hey, that guy looks like a killer. Whoa. Who is this guy? And if you put somebody on the side that's filming it, when they see me, even though they're seeing me through the camera, it scares them until they hear me speak. Yeah. And then they see that I'm kind.
Speaking of afraid of you, there's a clip of you when you talk about that.
People look at me as soon as I walk in and they're like, who is this guy? I look like I'm going to hurt somebody. You see that clip right there?
Yeah.
That was done by an affiliate who liked the clip, but it was something that I said on a podcast. And sometimes I could get very intense. So when I was sitting across and speaking to one of the guys, another guy on the podcast said, you know, I feel scared sitting here next to you. He's a big guy, bigger than me. He's like, but I feel the energy. Are usually people scared next to you? And I told him, usually they are. When I walk into a room, when people don't know who I am, and I walk in and I look at people and I'm ready to die and I'm ready to kill, yeah, usually people feel it. It's like when you see a gazelle and she sees a lion. She understands it's a lion.
Is that the vibe you like to give off to people though?
When I was younger, yes. Why? Take it back because of my father. My father used to look at me every time I'd step into the house and stare me down. And I'm looking away, then get the fuck out of here.
And you gotta love how even when he's on a different podcast, basically getting confronted about the bullshit he said in another one and how people didn't believe it, the fucking guy just doubles the hell down and somehow makes it even worse by making up even further shit. So it's like he can't even help himself but to compulsively lie about how he is just such a badass. And these lies will get even more wild sometimes, to where I think some actual truth might come through, because in some of them he'll go from talking about how he could do all of these flips and parkour and all this crazy shit and how he was just a movie star, into stating how he almost got the Diddy treatment when he was going to acting school. And this is probably the most believable thing that I think I've seen him say throughout this entire video.
I could run off of walls and do flips off of trees, parkour. I could fight. I could do it all. My dream was to become one of the superstars of the world. Everything that these actors used to do, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Lee, that is what I could do. Do you know who Howard Fine is?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know, but he's gay. Yeah. I went to school and I signed up for the school Howard Fine years ago. And I was planning to become top actor. He, let's say, approached me in the wrong ways. Yes. And he tried
your next movie.
And he tried.
Rub the legs.
And I was like, whoa, what are you doing? At the end, he gave me back all my money because he was scared.
For all the classes?
Yeah, for all the classes. And I left out of there. And that was years ago. And he kind of killed my dream. He killed my dream because I wanted to be a top actor. That's why I'm on social media today, because I want to bring my dream to life.
So yeah, apparently Howard was coming up and rubbing on Azoulay's leg, trying to make him earn that acting gig. And I don't know how true this actually is, but it is a lot more believable, like I said, than anything else that has come out of this guy's mouth. And this kind of leads into our next segment, which is the fact that this guy is always claiming to know everyone and is always claiming to be in contact with all of these different celebrities, you could put it. And he even had a whole situation where he apparently was supposed to fight Jake Paul. And of course he stated that it fell through, and he stated the fights were rigged and all this, and they wanted him to take a dive, and was just acting like he knew all of these guys. But during that, he had the audacity to say that Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player, had hit him up asking about the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. So apparently this guy's just in touch with fucking everyone. And he even made a video trying to talk about it and trying to gain some clout from it, when I guarantee you that Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, and definitely Shaq have never communicated with this guy in their life.
You see, I know a lot of the guys at the top. And I said, you know what? For me to become more known, I don't mind fighting Jake Paul. I'll do the fight. No problem at all. Matter of fact, I won't just do the fight. I'll do it however he wants. Does he want a pillow fight like he did right now? Does he want a box, kickbox, Muay Thai, Kung Fu, Wing Chun, whatever way, I'm in. So they said to me, that's amazing. We love that. We would love to have you fight Jake Paul. This would be great. You're the king of Israel. That'll be amazing. Jake Paul, this little bitch, was supposed to have a fight with me. He didn't want to fight me. Why? Because I have to lose. I have to lose a fight in order to fight him. Little girl. He took a fight with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson. People were surprised. How come Mike Tyson didn't beat him? Mike Tyson is an actor. You didn't see him on Ip Man? What the fuck is wrong with you? So he was acting on Ip Man, and now he was acting there. I had people like Shaq message me and say, was it true? Was it really rigged? I'm like, yeah, man, come on. You didn't see the fight? I don't care that he's 56 years old. He still would have knocked him out. He brings in all these fighters who need money because they didn't make it in the fucking UFC. He tells them, I'm going to punch you and get knocked out. Really? These guys were kicked in the fucking head and weren't knocked out. So one punch, that's it. You're knocked out. Cold. Great acting. From there, they need to go to Hollywood. UFC, no more UFC. From there, straight to Hollywood, my friend. Everything is bullshit. But good for him. He made a lot of money off of people's back, and now he bought a jet. I wish I could be that fake. I'd probably be a billionaire now.
And yeah, the fight was probably rigged, whatever, right? But out of all the people that Shaq could have asked, why in the actual fuck would he go ahead and ask King Azoulay? And how would Shaq even know that this goober existed at this point? Like, it's just such an unnecessary, unneeded lie, and I don't even understand why he would do it. Shaq doesn't even have anything to do with fighting. He played basketball. And I mean, I'm pretty sure Shaq went to the fight himself, so why would he go and ask King Azoulay if it was rigged, when he probably could have just asked them on his own? Like, I don't even know why he would even do this. And this isn't the only person that he's apparently tried to fight, or that he's willing to fight, even though none of these fights ever happened, because he's also tried to look like a badass and stated that he would kick the dog shit out of Andrew Tate, who actually does seem to have a track record of being able to fight, unlike the supposed king.
You know what I'd love to see?
What?
You and Tate in the ring.
I'd love to.
Octagon or ring.
I'd love to.
Yeah?
I would love to. I would break his head in half. I'm not kidding. He's a trained fighter. I'm a trained killer. Two different things. I'd break his head in half.
Is there a message you'd like to send to Andrew Tate before we call it a show?
Sure. Come on over to the US, set up a fight, however you want. However you want. We could do an MMA fight, which I've done many times. We could do a boxing fight if you want, which I call a pillow fight. We could go bare knuckle. We could do kickboxing. You're a 4-time world champion. Well, you didn't fight people like me. Or we could go all out.
And yeah, obviously it's just goofy, and he clearly doesn't know, Andrew Tate, Jake Paul, or Shaq like that, and he isn't like close to them like how he's trying to act, or even in touch with them enough to be able to set up a fight. But these still aren't the goofiest incidents, because for some reason, King Azoulay also decided to state that he used to live near Ashton Hall, and for some reason, he kept referring to him as the nicest gay guy. I don't know why he felt the need to do this, or what the reason or lore behind it is, but when I looked it up, I don't see anything saying that Ashton is even gay. And I doubt that King Azoulay really lived next to this guy, so I think he's just throwing out backhanded comments for no reason.
Ashton Hall's been known for his morning routines. What do you think about him?
Super nice gay guy.
What? What are you talking about?
I don't know if you know, he was my neighbor. He lived in the same building as me. Super, super nice gay guy. The guy who works out many times a day. He's super neat, takes care of himself. I mean, the guy's a hardworking guy. Literally takes care of his nails, takes care of his toes. Like, probably the cleanest guy I've ever met. Super, super fucking talented. Great physique. Amazing guy. Really nice guy too. So only great things to say about him, to be honest with you. And he was at like 2 million followers at the time when I met him. And he like shot up like crazy. I think he's at like 13 million. Insane. For a morning routine.
And you know, I don't know if Ashton Hall is gay or not. I really don't give a shit. But I know one thing is probably for damn sure. And that is the fact that King Azoulay more than likely doesn't know him. And was just trying to get whatever clout he could off of him because he was getting big for that morning routine bullshit. And the funniest thing is, him addressing, you know, celebrities, as you could put it, even began to end because he also decided that he was going to go after Moist Critical and posted a goofy ass video that Moist Critical didn't even acknowledge. So it seems that even people who have called King Azoulay out before won't even acknowledge him and his complete ridiculous horse shit, no matter how hard he ends up trying.
Mr. Moist Critical, who says that I'm a complete moron. I'm an idiot. And my skull is obviously not the strongest bone in my body. Clearly he knows nothing about the Shaolin moves. Clearly he knows nothing about fitness or the body, because clearly you could see what he looks like. And I can clearly understand why he's upset. So let's talk about this gentleman here, Moist Critical. Look, this guy sits here and talks about people. And that's how he gets famous. Showing his clips, my clips. It's a mag. Is that how you protect yourself? Because you're not man enough to protect yourself with this? Top of that, that's also how he makes money. Sitting in a room by himself. Every single video is in the same room. Like, do you ever get out of your room? All you do is sit in your room and talk to people. It's like Sneeko. Sneeko out there, this little dude who only speaks and talks on the internet just like you, but can never really face a man. We both know that you would never, ever talk if you were here in front of me.
And yeah, the man constantly tries to act like he knows everyone and is constantly trying to start beef with anyone that he thinks is going to get him clout. And it seems that it just always ends up failing so hard and just leads to him saying some out-of-pocket ridiculous bullshit. And we are still not done when it comes to him saying ridiculous bullshit, because it's about time we get to our next category and segment, which would be the fact that he's always trying to say that he was in the special forces and that he was just trained to kill. And it's a big part of why he's always trying to act like a badass and saying that he can just whoop anyone's ass. And I guess that this is just another storyline that was thrown into the other 40 that he has at this point.
I told you I used to work in counterterrorism for over a decade. Remember that? When we talked?
A long time ago?
Yeah?
No.
Yeah. When we talked a year and a half ago, I told you I worked in counterterrorism for over a decade. So for me, I wasn't allowed to be even on social media or any of these things. And even today, I'm not allowed to even speak about what unit I was in, things like that for the next 5 years.
Do you have experience in counterterrorism?
For about a decade. So I shared it multiple times. In Israel, most of the people that are in the military, they work in counterterrorism. They fight terrorists. But when you are somebody who is born in a different country, you now have multiple passports, it is better to hire you. They came to me and asked me to work with them. They look for people. You don't come and look for them. For the unit that I worked in, it's called a clear unit. Clear means that there's no name. You don't know anything. You don't know anybody. This unit does not exist. That's why it's called a clear unit. You work directly with people that nobody's ever heard of. And all you do is you go on missions. You get trained for almost a year straight, and you get trained worldwide. That's why I've been to over 80 countries. And then after that, whenever there is a problem, if there's a terrorist right now in France, I have to go catch him in France. I was almost killed multiple times, ready to have my head chopped off. So a lot of people at home will look at it and say that's bullshit. It's because all of the social media is bullshit. 1 out of like 1,000 Israelis that go to the military is a trained assassin. But you're not allowed to have assassins in the US. But when you're in counterterrorism, you go, it is what it is. If you could arrest them, great. If they have already done something really bad, then you bring them back. However, whether they're breathing or not. It's completely normal. Israel is under attack 24/7. We go to the military at the age of 18 to 21 if you're a man, 18 to 20 if you're a woman. We all carry guns, knives, M16s, Uzi, short Uzi, mini Uzi. So it's funny that people look at it and say, that's bullshit. It's okay because people at home, like I said, if they knew that aliens existed, which aliens do exist, aliens that live outside of this world, but clearly people don't want to accept that, which is fine. But in the US, they keep you in as like a bubble. But then Hiroshima happened and Nagasaki and a bunch of people got blown away and Afghanistan and Palestine and Israel and all of that. But people were brainwashed. The people have nothing to do with their life. So people will sit at home and call bullshit, which is fine.
That for the next 5 years. I can't share it with anybody, but
there's a lot of people out there that would say, now that's where I'm calling bullshit.
These units are called invisible units.
I'm not doubting you. I always give everyone the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't care.
But if I were to question it, I would say, well, wait a minute. At 17, you were homeless. At 18, 19, you were cleaning carpets. Then you got into telemarketing. Then you went, then you started doing real estate and you started investing here and there. And that was only 10 years ago. So when was the counterterrorism?
And apparently they came to him and came looking for him specifically for some damn reason to be on the counterterrorism unit. And he was almost killed multiple times. And he even knows at this point that it is complete bullshit and that people will call bullshit on it, but he still had the audacity to keep going. I mean, for goodness sake, even the podcast host was out here calling bullshit on it. You could clearly tell that he was not buying the shit, and naturally, King Azoulay could tell it as well. And the man had the audacity to sit there and just keep yapping about it. Like, this is truly some incredible work.
Yeah.
And who is it for? The Israeli army?
Well, it's Israel and the United States. You work with both.
That's the CIA.
That's because, no. Counterterrorism is a little bit different.
But you had to be with somebody.
Yeah, but can't talk about who I was with.
All right.
You want them to grill me?
Yeah.
But when you hold dual citizenship, when it's Israeli and American citizenship, I could do a lot of things that other people can't do. I go a lot of places that other people can't do. So, for example, I speak English like an American, so I could go places people don't know that I'm Israeli. You know what I mean? They won't really be on to me.
But like if you're American, I can tell that you're also something else.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell that you speak another language. Let's just say that.
I speak 5 languages.
But you speak great. You speak great English, obviously.
I speak 5 languages. I speak Hebrew
fluently,
English, Russian, and Spanish, and one more that I can't speak about.
Yeah. And apparently, the guy just cannot talk about fucking anything. Like, it's one thing to say that you can't talk about the organization you're with when you were a secret agent and the counterterrorism bullshit that you created. But then, to go on and say that you can't even talk about what languages you speak is some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And it just sums up this segment enough on its own to see that he is clearly full of some type of bullshit and is clearly just saying what he can to look cool. And with that said, we're gonna move on and go to our second to last segment, which of course would be these little random scientific facts that King Azoulay tries to throw out. And we had a segment like this in the last one, but instead of talking about some of the obviously dumb ones, like this one right here where he states that all Jews are born with 160 IQ, which by the way would make all of them geniuses, and it's one of the biggest loads of horseshit that he could conjure up in his mind.
The average Jew has 160 IQ. Jews run the world.
They're not running me.
The reason I say Jews run the world, because the plane that you took, the phone you're holding, you wouldn't believe how the Jews are listening in to every single flight that is moving from an Arab country. Jews run the financial aspect of the world, and because money is everything, then Jews run the world. And the reason is because everything that is created, especially right now, if you look into Google, right, CEO of Facebook, Meta, these are Jews. But do they practice Judaism? No. They were just born Jews. And because they are born Jews, they're also born with a very high IQ. And they're very easy to do certain things that other people can't recognize. The average Jew has 160 IQ.
We will instead be looking at one specific one in particular, which would be the supposed king shot that he created. And the king shot is basically a concoction that King Azoulay has made for himself and has been constantly advertising to all of his fans, where he makes some wild statements about it and acts like it can cure any sickness and that it's just this miracle substance.
If you make a shot in the morning with some turmeric, some pink Himalayan salt, half a lemon, tablespoon of olive oil, not extra virgin, regular olive oil, a little bit of cayenne pepper, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup. If you put ginger juice inside, and you drink it, you will fucking go running for like 2 hours straight. The amount of euphoria that you're going to feel is going to be crazy. The amount of release of dopamine that you're going to release, you're going to feel like a god. This recipe will 100% heal every fever, every virus, every cold, and anything bad that you've been feeling. You do this, and I guarantee you 100% it will go away. away within just a few days, and you won't need to see a doctor. If you want to change your life, do this. You do this, I guarantee you will stay happy for the rest of your life. You're also going to lose a shit ton of weight. As soon as you wake up, take in 40 deep breaths. After that, you want to do a 3-minute cold shower. Once you're done with a 3-minute cold shower, you're going to go to your kitchen and you're going to make yourself the King Azoulay shot, which is ginger juice, apple cider vinegar, a hint of pink Himalayan salt. You're going to put in there some lemon, some turmeric, and a tiny bit of cayenne pepper. And if you're brave, a tiny bit of vodka. That brings up the temperature in your body in about 1%. And as soon as your temperature goes up, your metabolism starts running. And as soon as your metabolism starts running, you start losing and burning fat. Take that shot, and I guarantee you, do that for 21 days. You will feel better than you ever felt before, and that's going to change your life. That routine has been in my life for the past some years, and that routine has completely changed my life.
Is there such thing as too much ginger? Can I just take ginger shots every day? This is a healthy thing, huh?
I could take 3-4 shots a day. I'm perfectly fine.
So according to this goober, the King shot just must be a miracle worker that not only is going to keep you from getting sick, but is going to cure any sickness, which is just asking for a lawsuit, but will help you lose a ton of weight and is going to make you feel amazing and just make you perform better when it comes to running and all types of other activities. So right when I thought this guy couldn't be full of any more shit, he then comes out with this type of bullshit, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And it was so stupid that it just deserved its own segment of pure and utter horse crap, and is something that he is constantly repeating and constantly posting. These were just a few of many different clips. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and move to our final segment, which, of course, this wouldn't be a King Azoulay video if we didn't have an F Students or Inventors segment. And I found 2 very unique clips that I didn't include in the last video, where one, he's just sitting there zesty as fuck, yapping about some random BS, and in the other, he's talking about how the F students are smarter than their own parents.
F students are the fantastic kids of the world. They are the ones with infinite intelligence. They are the ones that are the outcast. And you know why? Because they're looking from outside of the box. They're not inside where all the sheeps are, where all the herd runs in the same territory. No, we are the ones on the outside making creations and inventions for the ones on the inside. And that is why we are the producers of the world. F students, believe me, you have a very bright future. As long as you don't let them make you believe that you're supposed to end up in jail, or supposed to end up in a gang, or supposed to end up as a menace to society. Because when you're going out there and destroying Chromebooks, you're going out there and destroying the schools. That is what they want. They want to prove to you that you are a loser. But you know you're not. You know you have a creative mind with infinite intelligence.
See, F students on average are 5 times smarter than their own parents. You see, their own parents put them in school, believing that school was the best place for their kids. But F students didn't buy that scam shit. They knew and they realized at such a young age that the system was all a scam, that the government was trying to turn them into sheep. And they didn't try that. You see, they realized that also the teachers are government agents.
And yeah, I think that is the perfect place to end a video like this, with him making such a stupid statement, claiming that the teachers are government agents. Leave it to the pro and counterterrorism to be able to identify the government agents, which is the very poorly paid little teacher that's just trying to make it, man. And I think at this point, I have covered everything stupid that this man has said over the years. And I really tried to find some unique ones, since in the first one, I really hit all of the main goofy ones. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching for so damn long, because this took a lot of digging. But with that said, if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and the like, and join the Saints Mafia, where we are staying on all of these alpha males' asses. And I'm out. Watching King Azoulay continue to say stupid things in peace.
You could grab ideas from a different world. If I want to grab ideas, I want to grab inventions, creations, I'll sit on a chair, I'll hold metal keys, I'll darken the room. When I fall asleep, the keys will fall out of my hand, I'll wake up. When I wake up, I'm in a state called theta. It's the same state that you were in from the age of 0 to the age of 7. It's the state of hypnosis. You're hallucinating. You're hypnotized. That's how Salvador Dali woke up and made these beautiful paintings that people thought he was taking psychedelics. But that's how Thomas Edison came up with the light bulb. One day I got into a fight and I ended up beating the out of like 5 of them. And the boss, he took out a gun, put it to my head, told me to stop fighting. And I told him to me. And he saw in my eyes that something was going on. I thought I was gonna die. He told me, I'm not gonna you, I just want you to stop. And he looked me in the eyes and he realized I was a young boy. He pulled his gun down, put it in his pants, told me, come, I wanna talk to you. I said, if you wanna me, you can me in here. You don't need to go outside. Normally, if you tell somebody, come, we're gonna take a walk, somebody's coming back, not walking. So, he tells me, I'm not gonna do anything to you, I just wanna talk to you. When we went outside, he talked to me like a dad. He asked me how old I was. I said 15. He asked me what I was going through. I felt like it was a safe place for me to say it. And then he told me, he said, you know what, you're an incredible fighter. I think you should be fighting for me. But more than that, I wanna be like an older brother for you.
You joined his team?
Yeah, I became one of the guys in the I was named the Kid, and it was the Russian mob. It's called the Red Mob. I started fighting underground fights.
Wow, that's tight.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth.